Hello and welcome to my channel. Here is another episode of Story Time. Negotiations versus litigations. When the only way out of a situation is negotiations and the other person will not discuss things in an adult, mature way and instead becomes angry, intimidating and threatening. You cannot negotiate yourself when you are fearful of the actions of that person. Mandated legal negotiations are the only way forward. The goal is to find a solution and avoid litigation, which is stressful, time-consuming, and costly in more ways than just financial, as it can also affect physical and emotional well-being. Here is what happened when I sought legal advice in Spain. 1. The solicitor advised me to file a gender violence complaint after he had listened to a recording of the ex-partner in a meeting meant to discuss the financial proposal I had written after he had written his kind and generous offer of 50% of the value of the property, which would have left me in the home alone with no income while it was on the market. How long does it take to sell a home in Spain? How long is a piece of string? 2. I did not want to file a gender violence complaint. I asked the solicitor if he could write to the solicitor who was advising the ex-partner. He said he could not do that, saying, "Did you not hear what he said?" referring to the ex. "You cannot negotiate with him." No, I could not negotiate with him, but a solicitor on my behalf who had just advised me to file a gender violence complaint could have. Mistake number 1. 3. I backed out of going to the police station to file the complaint after driving 25 minutes to the home of a friend who could translate for me. Days later, I decided to write to the solicitor advising the ex. I informed the opposition of the advice I had received, which resulted in me being told that I had no rights here in Spain and that eventually a court would order my eviction and I would be forced to leave. Mistake number 2. 4. After a few unsuccessful attempts to resolve things, I went to the office of the Guardia Civil in Cartagena to file the complaint. I had no legal representation, even though the 016 Gender Violence Helpline had advised me to have a solicitor at the police station. I asked the interviewing officer, but was told I didn't need a solicitor. I was provided with a translator. I was asked some questions. I was in grief, shock, and trauma at that point. I never dreamt that I would be sitting in a Guardia station to file a gender violence complaint in a foreign country. I signed the statement even though I could not understand what was written and it was not given to me in English. I told the officer it was emotional and psychological abuse. Mistake number 4. 5. The verbal hearing in front of a female judge in the criminal court for violence against women was the next day. The free public appointed solicitor turned up 30 minutes before the hearing with nothing more than the statement taken in the Guardia station. The Spanish translator had picked up on a sentence in the recording on my phone, which he considered verbal abuse, because the ex had referred to me as a bleeding heart, post-menopausal, sad old bitch. The case was heard as one minor verbal abuse, and not a longer case of emotional and psychological abuse, which is considered to be a pattern of behaviour over time. Mistake number 5. 3 months later, there was a second court hearing. I didn't understand why. I thought it was all on hold. 2 months before, I had even tried to offer the ex mediation as a way forward in November 2020. He refused to participate. Again, the free public appointed solicitor turned up 30 minutes before the hearing. This time, the other solicitor who was advising the ex was also in court. I felt that I was on trial as I became the accused from the point of view of the other solicitor. The male judge allowed the questions, even though there was no proof of the accusation. By March, I received the judgment of the hearing, and the case was dismissed. Mistake number 6. By April 2021, I started to write my story under the pen name of Loren Keeliing. Post-separation abuse, betrayal, abandonment. What type of man? To raise awareness of the hidden forms of abuse in relationships, to highlight the gaps in the laws, plus to warn other women who decide to live in non-married relationships. In many countries, there are no laws protecting women in cohabiting relationships or vice versa. If you are contemplating moving in together rather than marriage, be sure to have conversations around finances and property ownership and what should happen in the event of the death of one person or the breakdown of the relationship, and get it in writing and legally signed. No one should face homelessness due to a legal system that fails to protect them. Many individuals in unmarried relationships lack adequate legal protections regarding finances and property. This is especially concerning for vulnerable women who may be subjected to financial abuse and homelessness by vindictive ex-partners. Sign this petition to demand change. Here's why your signature matters. Legal loopholes leave women vulnerable. Current legal frameworks often fail to adequately protect unmarried partners, especially women, from financial abuse and homelessness after separation. Mediation as a first step. Mandated legal mediation between lawyers representing both parties can provide a structured platform for negotiation and help reach a fair resolution. This can potentially prevent situations where one party feels pressured or threatened. Protecting the vulnerable. Women experience domestic abuse are particularly vulnerable in these situations. Often their abusers exploit loopholes to exert control, leaving them financially dependent and ultimately homeless. Your voice can make a difference. By signing this petition, you add your voice to a collective call for change. Demand the lawmakers create comprehensive legal frameworks that protect individuals in unmarried relationships and ensure fair treatment for all, regardless of marital status. Let's advocate for a legal system that prioritizes fairness and protects vulnerable individuals. Sign the petition today. Thank you.